What's going on? What's going on, everyone? It is your dude, Mr. International Passport, here again for yet another classic video. First and foremost, please like the video and make sure you comment. Likes are very important. Let's get straight into it. So in this video, right, I want to give my first impressions about South Korea, or at the very least let you passport bros know things that no one told me about South Korea that you should know before coming here, right? So this video will be me breaking down my opinions in regards to South Korea so far. Please bear in mind that this video will be centered mostly around Seoul, the capital city of South Korea, as I've spent the most time here. So the first point I want to break down is the safety here. South Korea, in particular Seoul, is very safe, and I'm surprised as to how safe it is. I have walked in the dark, right, by myself. I have seen people walk by themselves in the dark, and I have seen just how safe it is. Okay, hardly any crime here. Of course, crime happens everywhere, but I think the crime rate is very low in Seoul, South Korea. It comes to the point where I don't have to look around or do any 360 or 180 turns to see what's behind me, to the side of me, like I do in the UK, as the UK, as you know, is pretty dangerous. But in Seoul, South Korea, I can let my guard down, and that's a pretty awesome thing. It is extremely safe here. I'm seeing people with their phones literally out their hands, typing, swiping away, just completely being focused on their phones, right, and blocking out any sort of outside messages or outside experiences, and nothing happens to them. You will never see that kind of situation happen in the UK. People hold their phone tightly, people hold their phones with two hands, but in Seoul, South Korea, I've not seen that happen so far. So that tells you just how safe the city is in this particular country. The next point I want to break down is in regards to Seoul being like a mini Tokyo. I've been to Tokyo before. I found Tokyo incredible and amazing, and Seoul reminds me a lot of Tokyo, to the point where I can simply and proudly call Seoul a mini Tokyo. Okay, what do I mean by that? You're going to see lights everywhere. You're going to see futuristic things in Seoul, South Korea, just like how you see that in Tokyo, Japan, right? And I want to add that Seoul is like a very futuristic city. It kind of reminds me of like, anime and manga series as to how futuristic it is, right? I remember I was in Seoul, right, in the airport, and I saw like a mini robot actually moving around, picking up garbage or doing something really weird. And I'm thinking, whoa, what is this happening right now? Why am I seeing a mini robot move around by itself? It was so cool, man. Seoul is like a mini Tokyo, and it's super futuristic. And the lights that you see in Seoul is just incredible. Blue lights, orange lights, green lights, purple lights, yellow lights. And it all comes together to make it so futuristic, and it definitely reminds me of Tokyo. Not as impressive as Tokyo, in my opinion, but it's like a mini Tokyo, and it's still an awesome city when we take into account the technology, the lights, and how futuristic Seoul looks. The other point I want to discuss right here is the cost of living, and comparing the cost of living of the UK to Seoul, South Korea. Now, I'm from the UK, and things are very expensive now in the UK. Over the past year or so, inflation has been out of control, and the prices of goods have gone up tremendously. When I compare the cost of goods from the UK to South Korea, particularly in Seoul, it is surprisingly cheaper in Seoul. So for example here, right, a simple glazed ring donuts from Krispy Kremes in the UK will cost you around £2.30, £2.50, around that range. However, in Seoul, South Korea, it costs me about £1 5 pence, £1 4 pence. So that's less than half, right, when you compare that to the UK. And that goes for any other food or any other drinks you want to buy in Seoul. You're going to find that it's cheaper to actually get your prices of goods in Seoul, South Korea, which surprised me. Seoul is a capital city of South Korea. It is known worldwide for Samsung and other, K-pop and other sort of, cultural aspects from that country. But it's still a city where you can live reasonably there, okay? And if you're definitely earning pounds or dollars, your pounds and dollars will go a little bit further in Seoul, South Korea, which surprised me. So it definitely is a city where you can live reasonably, and if you budget well, you won't be out of pocket. The fourth point I want to break down here is the insane nightlife in Seoul, South Korea. What do I mean by that? I have never ever experienced, a crazy nightlife the same way that I have experienced it in Seoul, South Korea so far. It is by far one of the most greatest nightlife experiences I have ever experienced in my travels so far. Clubs in Seoul, South Korea close at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. South Koreans know how to party, particularly in Seoul, okay? The nightlife here is insane, right? They got Latin music, hip hop music, EDM music, pop music, techno music. It is an insane nightlife. It's busy, it's vibrant. There's always something going on. I think what even surprised me is that they party from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and in some cases Monday too, right? Coming from the UK, where clubs normally open at around Thursday and party through to Saturday, it's different out here in Seoul, South Korea. Most cases clubs are open every day, and in most cases clubs close at 6 a.m., 5 a.m. People party all hard into the night. I have not experienced anything like this so far. It is an insane nightlife experience here in Seoul. If you're a party person, you need to experience the Seoul nightlife, or you haven't experienced a nightlife like this overall in general. Come out here and experience the nightlife. So the next point I want to discuss here, from what I see in Seoul, South Korea, is that there is an disgusting, right, and nasty obsession with pale skin and light skin, right? When you walk around a city, you're gonna see very pale South Koreans, okay? You're gonna see models on billboards that are very pale, and they're mostly white models. They're mostly East Asian models, South Korean models, and they all have pale skin. I have not seen a black model or a dark skinned model so far in Seoul, South Korea. And that tells you something. There is an insane, right? Obsessive, right? What's it called? Connection to light skin here, to the point where it just feels weird and disgusting. Light skin, pale skin, white skin, it's an overdrive here, right? And I've known that East Asia has that kind of, links to, the paler you are, the more they feel you're desirable. But being in South Korea and being right in the heart of it is insane, right? They worship pale skin here quite heavily. And you can feel it. You can see in the TV shows, you can see in the music videos over here, in the billboards, you can see it everywhere. Pale skin, white skin is the de facto skin that South Koreans really want here, and I just can't get down with that, in my honest opinion. But just want to make you brothers aware about that. And just to add to the obsession with light skin and pale skin, I have not seen a yellow-skinned South Korean person so far, and that is very telling, right? We know the natural skin color, right, for many East Asian people, right, is yellow skin. I've not seen that, right? The de facto skin tone I've seen here is milky pale white skin. That should tell you as to what really gets down over here in South Korea. It's pale white skin, and I don't get down with that, to keep it a stack. And the next point, right, I want to discuss is the insane beauty standards I am seeing out here in South Korea. Now, coming from the UK, right, I have heard that South Korea has a crazy, insane beauty standard. But actually being here and seeing it and experiencing it firsthand, I can confirm that it is very true. Women here dress the part, makeup is on point. You will hardly see a woman here dressed like a bum. Now I'm from the UK, right? And you're going to meet a lot of British women that dress like bums, to keep it a stack. Just like bums to go to the cinema, to go to the club, to go out with friends. You know, they'll put on a yoga pants, some UGG boots. You know, just dressing that straight out bums. I'm not saying all women do it here, but some women do. Sorry, I'm not saying all women do it in the UK, but some women in the UK do. I've seen it, right? But in South Korea over here, okay, I have hardly seen a woman dressed like a bum. Whether she's in the 7-Elevens, whether she's in the convenience stores, whether she's in a cinema, whether she's walking around, she is dressing the part. The average South Korean chick is dressing the part, right? They do not dress down over here. The makeup is on point. The style is on point. It is insane, right, coming from the UK and seeing just how women in South Korea take beauty very seriously. It is it is wild, brothers. It is wild. Okay, so bear that in mind, right? Women here dress the part and they also look the part too. Now let me touch upon very briefly the beauty standards for men, right? So hardly any guy I've seen here has a beard. Okay, I have not seen one Korean guy with a beard. I'm not the only guy that I see with a beard. Okay, and I'll tell you a funny story, right? I was in the subway waiting for my train, and then I sit next to a Korean old guy. The Korean old guy looks at me and tells me, he gestures to my face like, too long, your beard, too long, shave. And I told him, what? I ain't shaving my beard. I'll keep it as it is. So that just tells you as to, a lot of Korean men and women look the same and act the same. So as I was saying here, right, I didn't see any particular, Korean guy with a beard in my whole trip so far. And I have been the only guy, apart from other foreigners, that have beards. Okay, so whether it's a thing where South Korean women don't want their guys with beards, I don't know. But the standard here for men is to not have a beard. just thought I'd point that out for you brothers. So the other point I want to mention here is height. Okay, South Koreans are pretty tall, and I've been surprised by that actually. Even the women here, right? Some of them can be quite tall, right? As compared to Japan, where a lot of the men there are short, a lot of the women there are very short as well. South Korea is a whole different ball game, right? A lot of men are average height or super tall. A lot of women are short, but also a lot of women are pretty tall. So South Korea is a pretty tall country. Probably the tallest country in Asia, if I'm not mistaken. So just thought I'd throw that out there for you passport bros to know. So we are down to our last several points here, and in this point I want to discuss hip-hop culture within South Korea. Hip-hop culture, Black American culture, Black American rap is quite big here in Seoul, South Korea. Walking down the street, walking in shops, walking down the mall, you're gonna hear rap music everywhere. Okay, and this is uncensored rap music, so unfortunately you're gonna hear the N-word being blasted from the radio speakers. I do believe they should censor that. I don't know what's going on out here in South Korea, but that should be censored, particularly the N-word. But going on from there, right, hip-hop culture is quite big out here. Black American culture, even the way they dress over here, you can tell it's the streetwear is inspired by, you know, black streetwear from America, and you can feel it here. You can see it. You can actually experience it in Seoul, South Korea. So hip hop culture is huge here in South Korea. Now, the last point I want to mention here is that Seoul, South Korea is very capitalistic, to the point where I would actually call it hyper capitalistic, right? It's a hyper capitalistic society, particularly within Seoul. What do I mean by that? Everywhere you walk to, you will be bombarded with shops. It is shop until you drop. Okay, and let me tell you just how capitalistic Seoul is, right? Never before, maybe in some cases in Japan, right, but in Seoul, South Korea, right, you are gonna see underground shopping malls. That's something that isn't in the UK. Okay, you will literally see, right, in the subway, while you're walking towards the subway, many mini shops for you to buy food, clothes, whatever. They have literal mini underground malls, shopping malls, and I'm thinking, this is insane, bruv. This is insane. There's lights all around it. You can buy whatever you want there. Like, I saw that here and there in Japan, but Seoul, South Korea takes it to a whole nother level, right? Literal underground shopping malls. Okay, you're gonna see in Seoul, South Korea, that is a very capitalistic society, right? Name brands are big there, the Gucci, the Armanis, etc., etc. People are wearing that in droves. People are shopping until they drop there. Okay, everywhere you look, left, right, forward, backwards, there's shops everywhere. So those are the points that I wanted to speak about in this particular video. Let me know what you thought about the video in the comment section below. Please like the video, comment, share the video, and of course please make sure that you book your IT consultations, you join the Patreon, you get on the IT mentorship program. Let me help you get into IT, and of course you cop the merch too. I'm International Passport, and I'll see you brothers on my next video. Peace out. Thank you very much.